Imagine for a moment just a flicker of time where everything clicks into place. That deep knowing, that shift inside. The feeling that you've always known but now only remembering. Because of course, the truth was never hidden, was it? It was just waiting for you to notice. And it's funny, isn't it, how the mind plays its little games, setting up obstacles only to knock them down again, keeping you in the dance of desire and resistance, of wanting and hesitating, of knowing and forgetting. But that's the game of will, isn't it? Perhaps you've noticed it before, those tiny moments where you say, I should but, or I know but. That hesitation, that whisper that holds you back, that part of you that clings to the familiar. The mind creates a story, a reason, an excuse, a justification. I deserve this, it says, even when you know the path leads nowhere new. The will, your will. It can be your ally, it can be your trickster, your guide, or your captor. And yet there's another force, isn't there? That pull, that higher current, that effortless unfolding when things just work. Not because you forced them, not because you struggled, but because you aligned, because you surrendered. Not in weakness, but in trust. That's the difference, isn't it? The old way says, I must control, while the higher way whispers, I'm in flow. Feel that shift now, that subtle opening inside, that recognition that you've known all along. The will that you thought was yours was never meant to be a cage. It was meant to be a bridge between the small self and something greater, between force and harmony, between resistance and surrender. And as you notice this now, as you recognize the pattern, something shifts, something deeper awakens. The old struggles begin to dissolve, not because you fought them, but because you see them for what they truly are. Just echoes of a mind learning its own power. Just stories that no longer need to be told. And now a question arises, not from the old mind, but from the deeper knowing. What happens when my will aligns with something greater? And in that moment, as that question lingers, you already know the answer, because you've felt it, because you've lived it, because something inside is already beginning to change. And isn't it fascinating how the mind weaves its stories? How in one moment a thought appears, just a whisper, a flicker, guiding, shaping, directing. And maybe you begin to notice how before, certain things, they seemed to pull you forward, effortlessly, while others, they hold you back, tangle you up, keep you circling. But whose voice is that really? That quiet nudge, that push, that resistance. Because the will is clever, isn't it? It plays both sides, pretending to be your ally in one moment and the saboteur in the next. It whispers, just this once. And why not indulge, while knowing, always knowing, that each choice ripples outward, shaping, forming, creating the very unfolding that's around you. And there's something about this moment right now, where awareness shifts, where something inside begins to wake up. Because of course, you already knew this, didn't you? You've seen it before, how one choice made in alignment opens doors that were never visible before. How when you step into that flow, into that higher current, things just work. No struggle, no force, just a knowing, a deep certainty that this is the way. It's the difference between pushing against the river and letting it carry you, between grasping and allowing, between effort and ease. And isn't it interesting how when you look back, the moments that truly mattered, they weren't the ones you forced, but the ones you surrendered to. Because here's the secret. Will is not about control, not about force, not about gripping tighter. Real will, the will that moves mountains, that transforms lives. It's the will that aligns, that listens, that surrenders, not in weakness, but in trust. And the question arises now, doesn't it? A question that wasn't there before, but suddenly is. A question that opens doors in the mind, doors that perhaps were always meant to be open. What happens when my will is no longer mine alone? When it becomes something greater? And the answer, well, the answer is already unfolding, isn't it? In the way you feel, in the way something shifts, something unlocks, something deep inside, remembers. Because of course you've always known, and now you simply begin to live it.